Hello, welcome to StageSwift. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at scheduling and scheduling your events on a calendar. Now, as you can see, I'm starting off from the home screen again, and I'm looking at this panel here, which is the scheduling panel. And the first item on the list here that I can click on is our Much Ado 2025 tour calendar. Now, this will display your currently selected calendar. In StageSwift, you select a calendar that you want to work with, and then you can keep returning to it all the way through the application. And so you're basically choosing a default calendar. I don't want to work with this calendar. I want to actually work with our King Lear tour. So if I go up to the right hand side here, there's a button in the top right hand corner. If I click on that, I can actually select the calendar I want to work with, and the first one I've got in the list is King Lear. So I'm going to choose that, and as you can see, this is now changed. So the calendar that I'm currently working with is King Lear. It's showing me that at the top as well, and I can just, from anywhere in the app, I can just click on this and go straight to the calendar. Also, I can click on calendar here from the scheduling part of the main menu, and that would take us to the King Lear calendar as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the calendar. So here we are on the calendar, and the first thing you might notice is we've got just a handful of events on here just to keep things simple, and they're in different colours. Now, these colours indicate different types of events, such as travel, accommodation, workshops, or you can set up these event types and give them a colour so that they make sense to you. We'll see how we can do that later. What I've got here is this blue colour for events, and an event really in StageSwift is where you're going to deliver what we call your product, which is your performance or the actual event that you're doing. I've used this sort of purple colour for accommodation. There's this sort of light bluey green colour here for workshops and talks, and I've used an orange colour for travel. So let's take a look at the event here, Leeds Night 1. This is our first night at Leeds performing King Lear. So if I just click on any of these events, I'll get the event editor, and I'll be able to fill out all the details of the event. Now, the first thing you'll see here, we've got type, and you can't change the type. Once you've saved the event, you've saved this event as an event type. So it's showing it with a blue border just to indicate that, and it's a performance. We've called this performance. And again, when we look at the different types of events, you'll be able to see how you can configure this to have any type of events that makes sense to you. Moving over to the right, there's the event title. This is just for you. You just type something in here that makes sense. This is Leeds Night 1. Below that, we've got dates and times. And in here, you can see it's Monday, May the 5th, 2025 at 8:30. If I click on this, I can change the time, say back to 8 o'clock. I can also set it as time TBC, which means that the time hasn't been set yet. And that will actually indicate on the calendar that this hasn't been done yet, that we're not sure what time it's going to start if I just tick on there. And if I just update that, and the same with the end date and time. It's, for performance, this will be the same date, but obviously the end time would be different, and we can adjust that here. And also we could say that the end time is to be confirmed yet as well. Moving down, the event, you can have 3 different types of statuses. It can be a cancelled event, so that will just tell you on the calendar that there was an event, but you've cancelled it. It's quite good to remember that something's been cancelled. This one's confirmed, so we're definitely going ahead with it. Or it could actually, the whole event could be to be confirmed, and that would also indicate itself on the calendar. To the right of that, we've got a delivery type, and that is where are you actually delivering this event. We're doing this one at the venue, but it could be an online event. It could be both, where we're at the venue and we're delivering it online, or it just may not be applicable to you. Below that, we've got 2 checkboxes here. One is display this event on the website. If you've got the optional StageSwift module that displays your tour list on your website, this enables you just to switch on or off an event, whether it's displayed on the website or not. And next to it is display this event on the road. This is for the cast and crew who are out on the road and using the on the road version of StageSwift, and you can hide events from on the road until you're absolutely ready to show your cast and crew that this event's going forward. So if I just tick that off, it wouldn't appear on the road's calendar. Moving on, we've got a venue. This venue is at the Leeds Royal Theatre. If I clicked on that, I can go through into the contact system, which you may have seen in an earlier video, so I can edit that particular contact. And to the right of it, there's this cogwheel. If I click on that, I can select a different venue. I could create a new venue from here, or I could just remove this venue from the event. If I go to select a venue, we can see how that works. And if I just start typing, and I'll start typing Manch, I should get our Manchester matches up, and we've got Manchester Theatre and the Travel Lodge at Manchester. Now, we're not going to be performing at the Travel Lodge. We may be performing at Manchester. And it also shows the addresses at this particular location, because it may be you're performing at the Studio Theatre or you're performing at the main theatre, and you can choose which particular venue or sub-venue that you're appearing at from here. Next to that is the product. Now this is the it's King Lear production, and it says calendar default. When you set up a calendar, which we'll see a bit later on in this video, you select which product is being delivered on that calendar. Now, bearing in mind that a calendar could represent a whole tour, you may just be delivering, King Lear. It might be the King Lear tour, but you may be delivering something different for one night, and you could change this product to say tonight or today we are going to be doing something different. And if I just click on the pencil icon here, these are the products that I've got set up in StageSwift, and I could say, well, actually, we're going to be doing an acting workshop, and this event isn't a performance of King Lear anymore. This is actually an acting workshop now. I can go back, and I can go back and just choose King Lear again for this particular event. Moving down, we've got booking. Now, we'll see more about bookings later on as well. I've selected the booking, Leeds Theatres, and that's because we were booked for 2 or 3 nights at the Leeds Theatre. So we put them all in a booking so that we can keep these events together, and we'll look at bookings in a short while. And when I selected this booking, it just brought through all the relevant information, who the booker is and who the technical contact is, and some contact information if that's available. And again, we've got the cog icon here where I can just select one of our bookings, and these are the different bookings that we've got in the system at the moment, and I could select one of these and it would bring through. So if I select that one, as you can see, this is completely wrong now, but it's Newcastle's theatre booking, and we've got a different booker, well, actually at Leeds Royal Theatre. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back and select our Leeds Theatre again, and that is the booking that this event is a part of. We'll move on to the next tab. It's notes. There's just 2 notes fields here. This is on the road notes, and this is where you can write notes for your cast and crew who are out on the road to tell them about things that they really need to know about this event, and you type them all in here. And private notes is just for you within the StageSwift system, so that you can make any other notes that aren't relevant to on the road or you don't want people to see. And the last tab here is people. And as you can see, these are the people who are out on the road, and you've set this up for the calendar. So we've got the people on the calendar who, basically this is your cast and crew on the road, but what I've done is I've taken 2 people out, and so these are calendar people removed because Mark and Henry aren't going to be available for that performance, and we've replaced them with Bill Bailey here, who's going to be just doing that one performance for us. If I want to remove people, I just click on these little icons here and they'll be removed. And if I want to put, say, Mark back, because he can make it now, if I just click on there now, Mark is back, and he's one of the calendar people, and he can he'll be there that night as well. This also determines what the people on the road will be able to see as well. So Henry Stewart won't get this event on his on the road calendar because he's been removed, because he'll only see the events that are relevant to him. These people plus Bill will see that this event is on their calendar, so they'll know what they're doing that day. If I want to add any more people, I can just click on the icon here next to additional people, and I can go and search for people. So if I want to remove Bill Bailey, I can remove him like that. If I want to put him back, I can do that. I could also then start searching for people, and if I click there now, Jane is one of our people who is going to be at that event. I'll just take Jane off, and I'll cancel out of that for a minute. The other thing here on the left hand side is you'll see that there's an event lead. Now, when we set this calendar up, we said that Jane Smith was the lead for the whole tour. So she's appearing here with a little shield icon next to her. She's leading this event, and she's also lead for the whole tour. But actually on this event, maybe Mark is going to be the lead. So we'll indicate that by saying that this alternative lead here is going to be Mark just for this one night, and he's ended up with his own icon and in green. Below that, you'll see that it's checking all the time that the people that are at this event, our actors here and our stage manager, stagehand, there are enough people to deliver the product we've selected. If you remember back on the general tab, we've got the King Lear production. When we set up this product, which we will see in a while, we also configure the actual people that are needed to deliver it, the number of actors, the number of stagehands, whatever you need to deliver this product. And this will check all the time that you've got the right number of people to do it. If I start removing people now, and I'll get rid of everyone, suddenly it's telling me that there aren't the right number of people for this event. If I just click on there, it just tells me. I can also just open the details up, so we can say one stage manager is required, it found none, a stagehand is required, it found none, and 3 actors are required. So what I need to do is actually put some people back, and now it's happy. We've actually got enough people to deliver this event. We've got Bill Bailey as an actor, Jane as an actor, Mark as an actor, so we needed 3 actors. And also, well, this is me, I'm a stage manager and stagehand, so I'm fulfilling both of those roles, and it's gone green over here. We'll see how this is set up later, but as you can see, it's quite useful. It makes sure that you don't remove people and then end up without enough people to actually deliver that event. The other thing you'll notice here at the bottom, we've got a save button here, so don't forget to save it once you've finished changing everything. You could also cancel out if you don't want to save your changes. And in the middle, we've got 2 other buttons. Delete, you can actually delete this event if you want to get rid of it completely. And next to it, you've got a duplicate button, which would actually duplicate everything about this event. This is really useful if you're doing a run of 2, 3, 4 nights somewhere. The best thing to do is set up the first event, get it all configured, select your booking, your venue, make sure the product's correct, everything else, then duplicate it the number of times you need and just change the start and end times. And that's a really easy way of being able to put a run of events on the calendar, just duplicate each one. So I'll cancel out of this and just take a look at some of the other types of events. So we've had a look at our performance event. Let's have a look at accommodation, and it's in purple here. And as you can see, it's got a type of accommodation. We've got our title. Start and end times are the same again. The accommodation's being confirmed. Again, you can set that as cancelled, or the accommodation is to be confirmed yet. And whether to display this event on the road is here. Obviously, display on the website doesn't make sense, so that's not here. There are a few things missing. The accommodation, you can choose where people are going to stay. And also you can add it to the booking as well, the associated event booking. That helps you to keep everything together so that you know that your event, your travel, your accommodation and whatever else is all part of the same booking. If that's useful to you, you don't have to select a booking for these at all. And if I'm just going to choose some accommodation, I can select a venue from here. And we are staying in Leeds, but I don't think we've got anything in here. So if I go back to Manchester, maybe we're staying at the Manchester Travel Lodge. If I just select that, and as you can see, there's no address for that one at all. So you go and choose your hotel, and so now we've got the accommodation set up on here. We've got the same notes again on the road notes and private notes, and also we've got the people. And as you can see, it's the same people. And these are all the people that have been assigned to the calendar. And if everybody's staying at that hotel, you leave them all on there. But if Henry and Jane are staying somewhere different, you'd create a different event, accommodation event for them, take them off this one. And now we know these 3 people are staying at that hotel. And we get an extra tab and we've got an accommodation tab here. And if I click on that, we can put our booking reference in so that when they're out on the road, when they get to the hotel, they can say, you know, this is the booking reference. We can tell them whether breakfast is included with this booking, and we can also set the check-in time and the check-out time for them so that they know when to check in and check out. And we could have a few notes just about the accommodation if we want to here. There's also arrangements, so we can start adding these. So we can say the note is a double room. Whoops, that's not how you spell it. They've got a double room, and there's 2 of those, and we can just keep adding those, and then there's a single, and we've got 1 of those. So that'll appear on the road as well, and they can see that you've booked 2 double rooms and 1 single room. And we can save that when we've finished. And you can duplicate these as well, delete at the same time. And if you made a mistake, you can just remove one of these rows. Oh, it's not a, we don't want that one anymore. In fact, we've got 3 double rooms now, for instance, and I can just save that. Up here we've got travel. Now I'm skipping over this. These are workshops, and if I just click on this one, you can see it is an event. It's absolutely identical, but this time it's a talk or lecture, and it's got a slightly different color because that's what I chose, but it's still the same as a performance event, so we've got all the same details and the same tabs. If I go to travel, again, it's the same sort of thing. Few bits missing that aren't relevant to travel. You can give it a title, the start and end time, and you can say whether the travel is confirmed, cancelled, or to be confirmed again. And you could also say whether this would be displayed on the road. And you can attach it to the booking so that we know that this travel is part of the particular booking. So if I click on that and select a booking, I could say, well, actually, this is part of our Leeds Theatres booking. And that just gathers them all together under the same booking. And again, we'll look at bookings in a short while as well. Notes are the same. So we have on the road notes and private notes, and people is the same. So who's traveling? Well, they're all traveling together, so we'll leave them there. But if Jane was going to make her own way there, we could just say we've removed her. This travel event now won't appear on her calendar, and she's now, maybe you need to create a different travel event for her, or Jane just knows what she's doing that day. And then we have a travel tab. This is dedicated just to travel. And if we look on here, we can actually plot our travel. So we can choose what type of travel method they're using. If there's this little icon next to them, you can use the route plotter over here, because these are the types of travel that's available on the Google route plotter that we're using in this application. So you can either drive, you're taking public transport, you're walking, you're taking a bicycle or a motorbike, any of these. We've got driving, so we'll keep driving selected, and we're just going to say where they're departing from and where they're arriving at. These you can be as specific as you like. So we'll say we're going from London to Manchester. That's very vague, but that'll do for the minute. And we can actually copy those over to the route plotter, which is actually I've already done. If I clear the route, what you'll see is if I copy to route plotter, it just copies what I've got in here over to the route plotter, and I can now go and plot the route. It's got the plot mode is drive because I've selected that here. I can show it in miles or kilometers, so whatever makes sense, and we'll plot the route. And there we go. It's plotted the route from London to Manchester, and I can zoom in on this in London, and it's by default, because I was very vague, it's just chosen the centre of London. But if we say, well, actually, you know, we know we're staying over here near Harrods, I can just grab this and I can say, well, actually, that's where you're starting from, and I can update this route, and now it's updated the route for us traveling from that particular location, and I can move this anywhere I like and just keep updating it. And now it's plotted the route, and I can say, right, I'm happy with that route now, that's where we're going from. And the same at the other end, so it's green at the start and we've got red at the end. I can zoom in on Manchester and say, well, actually, we're specifically going to these crossroads here in Manchester, and I'll put the cross there and update the route. And now it's plotted the route through to there for us. Handy, it's given us the latitude and longitude just in case we need it. And I can save that route. And now that's been plotted. We've got a little tick Up here, the route is being plotted. This, importantly, will appear in on the road so that you've done a bit of work for them. Whoever's driving the minibus or whatever will actually be able to look on the road system and see this route's being plotted. And it's given us an estimated time and an estimated distance for that. Reference doesn't really count when you're driving, but this may be a train booking or another type of public transport booking. You could put the reference in here, and you could put a few notes in as well. And that's travel. I'll just cancel out of that for a minute. I'm sure I want to close the editor. To create a new event, we just click on the day we want. And if I click that, a new event editor will come up, and as you can see, I can now choose the type of event this is going to be. Now I've set these up. You can set these up for your own version of StageSwift, whatever makes sense to you. So I've got accommodation, a get in, a get out, performance, a rehearsal, talk or lecture, travel or a workshop. What we haven't seen is there's another type of event called tech. Maybe this is a get in, and we can now basically start filling this out in exactly the same way. What you'll see is as I change this, so if I change this to travel, now the travel buttons, the tab has appeared up here. Or if I change this to accommodation, now I've got the accommodation tab on here, and things very slightly change to make sense for that particular type of event. And I'll just cancel out of that. So that's basically putting events on the calendar. You have different views on this calendar. We can have a day view, a month view, week view, or even the year view here. If you prefer to see it in a list, at the top here, we've got two buttons. We've currently got calendar selected. If I just click on that, I can actually see my events in a list, which may make more sense. And also you can filter. So if you just want to work with accommodation events, or you want to work with performance events, or you want to work with your workshop events. Oh, there aren't any in that. Let's try talk or lecture. There they are. We can work with those. And you'll see there's a status here. This will change color, so we know these are confirmed. So you can see at a glance really which ones you need to check. If you might have TBC in here. And you can also see at a glance any events that may be hidden from on the road as well. And I can go back to the calendar just by clicking here. You can also filter if you really want to. So if I was looking, if this is quite a long list and I was looking for my hotel, oh, there it is. So I just start typing in any of these and the list will start to filter down. And now I can go back to the calendar. Up here, we've got some buttons. This first button will take you to the first event on the calendar. This will take you to the last event on the calendar. And these buttons just take you forward 1 month or 1 day at a time, depending on what you've got chosen up here. So that's the calendar. In the next few videos, we'll show you how some of these things are set up. We've shown you quite a few things here that may not make complete sense just yet. If I just go back here, we've got the type of event, and in the next video, we'll show you how to set up your different event types. We've also talked about products, and we'll, in a subsequent video, talk about how to set up a product. We'll also have another video on how to set up an entire calendar. And we've already been through venues, believe it or not. If you haven't watched the video on contacts yet, this is where the venue comes from. It's from the contact system. We'll also have another short video on bookings so that you can see how that works and how that relates to the calendar. So for now, that's the calendar.